Hmm? What's this? What's he doing? Oh, did you think this was a normal replay? Bad luck, sucker, you've got to hear my stupid voice. Right. Sorry. I just had to do that. Well, I didn't, but I'm a dickhead, so yeah, I did. I've got a lot to talk about in this replay. A lot of that is to do with using an Exitor row team, and, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a massive shill for Exitor, because I think he's great, and I want more people to use him. Unless they're in other guilds, in which case, no, he's terrible. Yeah, don't bother. You won't get big damage numbers at all. So just pass on by if you're in another guild. Okay, right. They're gone. Okay, let's watch me smash this stupid bloody Necron. In all seriousness, this replay got a bit complicated, and I did do some decent damage, but there was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk through about it, and just I think an Extor row team is good. It can be a bit awkward to use, so you need to be aware of that if you're going into trying to use it. So I'll get started with the replay and stop flapping my gums for a start. What speed are we on? Fastest. Let's take it a little bit slower. Okay. So this is my setup initially, and you might be thinking, why did I deploy the active? If you don't know me, I don't usually bother with using Ravus' active because I generally assume that Szarekh is going to stay on his throne and summon on the first turn because I have extremely awful luck when it comes to fighting him. But why have I set it up to only get one drone out? Well, the initial plan was that he'll stay on his throne, as always, and eventually I'll have to move Ravus onto this hex here, and the drone will go onto this hex to block them both off to stop him from summoning a second time. I don't want two drones out, because if I have Ravus here and a drone here, then I've got another one floating around somewhere and it might move into one of these positions. But I need as many of these positions vacant as possible to make space for Eldryon, Tan, and a few Skitari to get some decent damage out. So that was the thinking going into this. Right, now let's see what actually happened. Oh, would you believe it? He's not being a dickhead for once. But because I had Exitor at the front, it's actually worked out quite well to get another few hits in on him, aside from the Overwatch, so I'm already 25k in, or 26k if you want to round accurately and not be a maths numpty. So now I have the difficult decision to make. How am I going to box him in? Because I don't want him running all over the place, because he'll often run up into a corner or onto the high ground, and which means you can't get the high ground bonus against him, or you just can't really get anyone attacking him. So I definitely don't want him to go up here. So I'm blocking that off for sure. Let's see what I do, because I can't bloody remember. Also, Eldryon's in the right position here, which is good, because I don't have to move him into a position where he is dooming Szarekh. So I can do all my stuff with my other units and then move Eldryon at the end to box him in. So that was another good consequence of him moving to this spot here. And I was thinking I want to move Tan over here, which means I won't be able to get Actus over to him to use Actus's heal on him to get him to spawn the Skitari. So I thought I'll just spawn the Skitari here, get it out of the way. Get the hit in with Exitor, of course. And once you move Exitor, I think his hits from his passive get halved, so I wanted to do as many mechanical hits as possible before moving him to get the most damage I could out of him in this round. Now I've got the Skitari. I was quite happy with this setup. And finally move Eldryon, because his doom isn't really that important anymore, because no one else is attacking Szarekh, so I was quite happy for Szarekh to move over here somewhere, because there's still plenty of spaces he can be hit from. But yeah, I didn't want him to move up onto this bit of high ground, or over here. Now, he'll summon, because he didn't summon in the first turn. I wasn't sure if he was able to move before he summoned, so that's why I made the boxing in attempt. So, what did I do? Yeah, that's quite annoying with Exitor, of course, but I've now set things up so that one Skitaria will get spawned here, which will help to box him in. And essentially he'll be completely surrounded at the end of this turn. Which means he won't be able to move away, which means Exitor will still be able to get a few good licks in against him. So Skitari will always go onto the high ground first, given a choice, but luckily I've got two Skitari to spawn, so Szarekh is now surrounded, he's doomed, he's got Exitor next to him, and the worst thing that can happen at the moment really is my summons going running off all over the place and not just shooting Szarekh like they really should. So I'm not going to bother attacking Szarekh with Exitor. First of all, Exitor's hits are cut in half at this point, so who really cares? And Eldryon barely does any damage to him anyway, so I'm much better off killing the summons of those two than I am trying to attack Szarekh with them. So Exitor will get a good few hits in now, seeing as he hasn't moved yet. And now I've got another hole for Szarekh to escape out of. So at this point I'm resigned to there being a hole, but I want to control where he will go to, and I can afford to do that now. I've got enough summons and units around him. Let's see. Get Skitari out, then move Tan there, and now he's only got this hex to move into. Got all my Skitari out so I can go into Conqueror mode, of course, and get the extra hits. Now I'm anticipating him moving into this hex, so I move Eldryon here to cover that hex of doom for when he inevitably moves there. I'm just going to have to take the L, as they say, of not having Exitor hitting him for these few hits from the summons. But I can move him into place next to Szarekh now, with a bit of jiggery pokery. So get Actus moved into a more useful position, and use Exitor's active, because I'm about to get a lot of hits in. This is probably as good a time as any to use Actus's active, because Szarekh is about to spawn a bunch of death marks in the next round and make things a lot more awkward. Now here, Exitor's normal hits get cut in half, but he still gets the 2 hits from his active ability, so that's something to keep in mind, that his active ability is not diminished by it. That's quite handy, really. And now we'll just do the usual Exitor business of a lot of hits. Now I think I'll just let this play normally. Summon, and obviously my summons are going to get distracted. Nothing you can really do. At least he's been held in place and he can be hit by a few mechanical units. And that is that.